The following are the contents of the topic, the advantages of cross-pollination.
以下是主题异花授粉的优势的内容。
Cross-pollination increases the variation in offspring.
异花授粉增加了后代的多样性。
The following are the 4 main advantages of cross-pollination.
以下是异花授粉的4个主要优点。
Firstly, the new plants that produced from cross-pollination are healthier and more resistant to diseases and pests.
首先，异花授粉产生的新植物更健康，对病虫害的抵抗力更强。
The second, new varieties of plants may be produced.
第二，新品种的植物可以被产出。
The third, seeds produced are with the improved quality and more viable.
第三，生产的种子品质更高，更可行。
The fourth, better yield and quality of fruits are produced.
第四，更好的水果产量和质量被产出。
Now, we discuss the innovation of cross-pollination.
现在我们讨论异花授粉的创新。
In the field of agriculture, in order to improve the quality of agricultural product, 2 parent plants with good qualities are cross-pollinated to produce offspring that inherit the good, desirable qualities.
在农业领域，为了提高农产品质量，对2个品质优良的亲本植物进行异花授粉，以产生具有良好品质的后代。
In Malaysia, innovation of cross-pollination is implemented in the following agriculture activity.
在马来西亚，异花授粉的创新被运用在以下农业活动。
In oil palm, the cross-pollination between Dura sp and Piscifera sp has produced Tanara sp which gives higher yield of oil.
在油棕耕作中， Dura sp 和 Piscifera sp 油棕品种之间的异花授粉，生产出可提供更高的石油产量的 Tanara sp 油棕品种。
For the paddy plant, 2 types of paddy are produced using innovation of cross-pollination. MR103 is produced which have higher quality rice grains. MR211 is produced which have shorter maturity period.
关于水稻通过异花授粉的创新，2种水稻品种被产出。MR103 品种被产出，它的米粒品质更高。MR211 品种被产出，它有更短的成熟期。
The third is maize plant. Masmadu has a bigger cob and sweeter corn.
第三是玉米 ，Masmadu 品种被生产，它的玉米棒更大，玉米更甜。
The second stages of the plant reproduction is fertilization process. We will discuss fertilization process in plant in this topic.
植物繁殖的第2阶段是受精过程。我们将在这个主题中探讨在植物中的受精过程。
During pollination, the male and female gametes are brought together by their pollination agents.
在授粉过程中，雌雄配子由授粉媒介聚集在一起。
After the pollination, fertilization will occur, at which the male gamete carried by the pollen fuses with the female gamete in the ovule.
授粉后，受精将发生，在此，花粉携带的雄配子与胚珠中的雌配子融合。
The fertilization process in plant after the pollination process will go through 3 stages.
授粉过程后，植物的受精过程将经历3个阶段。
The first stage is pollen tube generation.
第1个阶段是花粉管的产生。
When the pollen grain landed on stigma, the sugary fluid on the stigma stimulates the pollen grains to germinate.
当花粉粒落在柱头上时，柱头上的含糖液体会刺激花粉粒发芽。
Each pollen grain produces a tube called pollen tube.
每个花粉粒产生一个称为花粉管的管。
The second stage is pollen tube development.
第2阶段是花粉管开发。
The pollen tube carrying 2 male gametes grows down through the style and get into an ovule in ovary.
花粉管携带2个雄配子通过花柱向下生长，并进入子房的胚珠，胚珠含有雌配子。
An ovule contains a female gamete.
胚珠含有雌配子。
The ovules are found in the ovary of flower, and inside each ovule contains the female gamete.
胚珠位于花的子房中，每个胚珠内都有雌性配子。
The third stage is fertilization.
第3阶段是受精。
The pollen tube enters the ovule through a tiny pore, micropyle.
花粉管通过微小的毛孔进入胚珠。
The end of the pollen tube bursts to release the 2 male gametes into the ovule.
花粉管的末端破裂，将2个雄配子释放到胚珠中。
Fertilization occur when the nucleus of one gamete fuses with nucleus of the female gamete to form zygote.
当一种配子的核与雌性配子的核融合以形成核子时，受精就发生。
After fertilization, fruit and seed will be developed.
受精后，果实和种子将被发产出来。
3 stages of development of fruit and seed.
果实和种子的发育的3个阶段如下。
The first stage is drop off of the flower. The petals, sepals, stamens, stigmas, and style of the flower will wither, and then drop off.
第1阶段是花的掉落，花的花瓣、萼片、雄蕊、柱头和花柱将凋谢然后掉落。
The second stage is formation of fruit.
第2阶段是果实的形成，卵巢将发育成果实。
The third stage is formation of seed. The zygote will divide and develop into an embryo. The ovule will develop into the seed inside the fruit. If the flower with more than one ovule, more seed will be produced.
第3阶段是种子的形成，核子将分裂并发育成胚胎，胚珠将发展成果实内的种子。如果花的胚珠多于1个，更多的种子将产生。
These are the 3 stages of development of fruit and seed.
水果和种子发育有3个阶段。
Now the structures of seed and their function to be discussed.
现在种子的结构及其功能被讨论。
There are 2 types of seed.
种子有2种种类。
The first type of seed is monocotyledonous.
第1类种子是单子叶，这是单子叶的种子。
This is the seed with single cotyledon. The second type of seed is dicotyledonous.
第2种种子是双子叶，这是带有2个子叶的种子。
These 2 types of seed will be detailed in the following part of the video.
这是带有2个子叶的种子，这2种子将在视频的接下来的部分将被详细介绍。
The first type of seed, monocotyledonous seed, the seed with single cotyledon.
第1类种子是单子叶，这是单子叶的种子。
A mature monocotyledonous seed contains an embryo, which consists of cotyledon, plumule, and radicle, which surrounded by endosperm and enclosed by seed coat.
一个成熟的单子叶种子包含胚胎，胚胎由子叶、胚芽和胚根组成，它被胚乳包围，被种皮包围。
The following are the structure of monocotyledonous seed and their functions.
以下是单子叶种子的结构及其功能。
The seed coat, it functions to protect the seed.
种皮起到保护种子的作用。
The plumule, it will grow and develops into the shoot system.
胚芽它将生长并发育成芽系统。
The radicle, it will grow and develops into root system.
胚根它将生长并发育成根系。
The cotyledon and endosperm stores food which is used by embryo during the germination.
子叶与胚乳储存发芽期间胚胎使用的食物。
This is about the discussion of the structure of monocotyledonous seed and their functions.
这是关于单子叶种子的结构及其功能的讨论。
About the dicotyledonous seed, the seed with 2 cotyledon.
关于双子叶种子，它是带有2个子叶的种子。
A mature dicotyledonous seed contains an embryo, which consist of cotyledon, plumule, and radicle, and enclosed by seed testa.
成熟的双子叶种子包含胚胎，由子叶、胚芽和胚根组成，并被种皮包裹着。
Dicotyledonous seed consists of hilum and micropyle that can be seen from the outside of the seed.
双子叶植物的种子由种脐和株孔或叫微孔组成，这可从种子的外部看到。
The follows are the structure of dicotyledonous seed and their functions.
以下是双子叶种子的结构及其功能。
Testa, the hard external coating of a seed. It functions to protect the seed.
Testa 种皮，种子的硬质外皮，它起到保护种子的作用。
Micropyle, the small pore which is present just beneath the hilum. It functions to allow air and water to enter the seed.
微孔位于种脐下方的小孔，它的功能是允许空气和水进入种子。
Hilum, a scar or mark left on a seed coat. It functions to attaches the seed to the wall of ovary wall.
种脐种皮上留下的疤痕或痕迹，它的作用是将种子附着在卵巢壁、水果壁上。
Plumule, the part of a seed embryo that will grow and develops into the shoot system, bearing the first true leaves of a plant.
胚芽种子胚的一部分，那将生长并发展成芽系统，带有植物的第一片真叶子。
Radicle, the part of a seed embryo that will grow and develops into the root system of the plant.
胚根种子胚的一部分，那将成长并发展成为植物的根系。
About cotyledon, the dicotyledonous seed consists of 2 cotyledons. It functions to stores food which used by the embryo during the germination.
子叶双子叶种子由2个子叶组成，它的作用是储存发芽过程中胚胎使用的食物。
This is the content about the structure of dicotyledonous seed and their function.
这是关于双子叶种子的结构及其功能的内容。
We continue the lesson with topic, germination of seeds.
我们以种子发芽为主题继续课文。
Germination is the growth process of a seed into a seedling.
发芽是种子生长到幼苗的过程。
There are 6 stages to complete the germination of seeds.
有6个阶段可以完成种子的发芽。
At the first stage of seeds germination, the seed absorbs water and air through the micropyle.
在种子发芽的第一阶段，种子通过微粒孔吸收水分和空气。
The second stage of the seed germination is softening of testa by the water.
种子发芽的第2阶段是水使种皮软化。
The third stage of the seed germination is the growth of the radicle.
种子发芽的第3阶段是胚根的生长。
Where the testa bursts and the radicle grows downwards to form the root.
在此种皮破裂，胚根向下生长形成根。
The growing embryo uses the food that's stored in the cotyledons, or endosperm.
成长中的胚胎利用子叶和胚乳中储存的食物。
The fourth stage of the seed germination is the growth of the plumule.
种子发芽的第4阶段是胚珠的生长。
At the fourth stage, the plumule grows upwards to form the shoot.
在第4阶段，胚芽向上生长形成嫩芽。
The growing of embryo consume the food stored in cotyledons, or endosperm.
胚胎的生长消耗了子叶和胚乳中储存的食物。
The fifth stage of the seed germination, the cotyledons decrease in size.
种子发芽的第5阶段，子叶变小。
Because the food stored in cotyledons, or endosperm are used up.
因为子叶或胚乳中储存的食物用尽。
The sixth stage of seed germination is the process of the seedling begins to carry out photosynthesis.
种子发芽的6个阶段是幼苗开始进行光合作用的过程。
where the plant is capable to make its own food via the photosynthesis process.
在此植物能够通过光合作用生产自己的食物。
This is the 6 stages of seed germination.
这是种子发芽的6个阶段。
There are 2 types of seed germination.
种子发芽有2种类型。
The first is Epigeal Germination.
第一种是地上发芽。
During the epigeal germination, the cotyledons are carried above the ground.
在地上发芽发期间，子叶被带到地面以上。
Example of plant seed which germinated via epigeal germination are mung bean, gourd, and sunflower.
通过胚芽发芽的植物种子的例子有绿豆、金瓜和向日葵。
The second type of germination is hypogeal germination.
第二种发芽是地下发芽。
During the hypogeal germination, the cotyledons remain under the ground. Example of plant seed which germinated via hypogeal germination are corn, peas, and wheat.
在地下发芽期间，子叶留在地下。通过地下发芽的植物种子的例子有玉米、豌豆和小麦。
The following content is the topic about the conditions required for germination of seeds.
以下内容的主题是有关种子发芽所需条件。
The following are 3 conditions for the seeds to germinate and develop into new plants.
以下是种子发芽并发展为新植物的3个条件。
The first condition that required for germination of seeds is water.
种子发芽的第一个条件是水。
Water is needed to soften the testa and to activate the enzyme.
水被需要来软化种皮并激活酶。
The activated enzyme breaks down the stored starch in the cotyledon to glucose, which can be used in the respiration to supply energy for growth.
活化的酶将子叶中存储的淀粉分解为葡萄糖，这可用于呼吸以提供生长所需的能量。
The second condition is a suitable temperature.
第二条件是合适的温度。
A suitable temperature is required to activate the enzyme to break down the stored starch.
需要合适的温度来激活酶以分解储存的淀粉。
The suitable temperature for the germination is 10 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius.
发芽的适宜温度为摄氏10度至摄氏35度。
The third condition is the environment with enough air, the oxygen.
第3个条件是空气、氧气充足的环境。
Oxygen is required for cellular respiration.
氧气它被细胞呼吸所需要。
Oxygen enables seeds to respire to supply energy for growth.
氧气使种子能够呼吸，从而为生长提供能量。
This is all the content of Topic 7, Plant Reproduction.
以上是主题7植物繁殖的全部内容。
And the explanation for Chapter 4, Reproduction, end here. Thank you for watching.
以及第4章繁殖的解释就到此结束。谢谢收看。